FDA did an amazing job in COVID, I will say. I think in that case, because it is a public health minded agency and that is their mission, you had folks working way over time. And we had Operation Warp Speed to get the vaccines to the market. And I think, and we had the emergency use authorization. And so that was actually a system where things worked very well. Things actually got through FDA way faster than you would think. I don't think there were as many concerns because they had enough people to do the work and they knew what the work was. Now, if you were a non-COVID related item during that time, I think it was a little bit more challenging. But in terms of the COVID related work, I think it actually went as well as it could have under the circumstances. Now, I think what you're dealing with is a situation where a lot of people who have a lot of institutional knowledge have left. There is a lot of the people that keep the freight moving, like the project managers, are not there. And so you have reviewers who are scientific experts having to do things like, send out correspondence and correspond with sponsors and schedule meetings and things that they didn't have to do before. And that's just going to slow things down. And so whereas before, maybe they could have spent extra time focusing on a novel scientific question, they may say, we can't possibly do that in the user fee dictated timeline. And so we're gonna give the company the feedback, take ourselves off the clock, and let them resubmit afterwards. So I think it remains to be seen, but the advice that is generally kind of coming out of the FDA bar is anything you send into the agency right now, it needs to be the minimum amount of information that you need in order to get your product through and really good. Like, it cannot be that, it used to be that if you were an inexperienced company or a smaller company, FDA would help you, right? They would give you the benefit of the doubt. If, your data wasn't all there or you had questions that probably, maybe were beyond the scope of what should have been asked in a meeting, you can still submit them and get the feedback you need. That may not be the case anymore. There may be some review divisions that will still work that way, but I think it's better to work under the assumption that that is not the case, and to ensure you have really good regulatory consultants, really good legal support, and put your absolute best foot forward with the agency, assuming that what you're trying to do is answer all of their questions in advance.